What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Gravity Falls Journal 3 Special Edition analysis video. Now in today's episode for this particular subject, we are going to be talking about the new Bill Cipher page that I mentioned in the previous video, alongside with some other Bill Cipher pages that you may have been wanting me to go over. And before I get started, let me just mention this one small trick that I also learned while looking at the Journal 3 Special Edition pages. The best way to make the images and letters pop out the best and make them glow really bright green is to not only keep it on the black light for a certain amount of time, but to also put the black light close enough to the pages where it's actually almost touching. I don't know, I just want to put that little clue there for anybody who has the special edition of this book, because, you know, you learn something new every day basically. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get back to the Bill Cipher page that we left off on in the previous episode. And once you finally manage to lock yourself in your bathroom and get a dark space, get your handy dandy black light to illuminate the invisible ink text that reads this: "My muse lied to me. How could I ever have been so foolish?" And of course, this is Ford talking about Bill Cipher, and Bill Cipher at the very end is shown. And by the way, if any of you are curious to see the codes that are non-invisible, then go on over to the link of my playlist that I made for my original Journal 3 analysis videos from last year. You know, in case you haven't seen them yet. Now the next page over to the right reads this once illuminated. It says, "Saw this in an old scroll," and it's pointing to a specific star in the sky. And then at the bottom of the page, it reads, "Out of all the idiots in the entire universe, why was I the only fall prey to Bill's villainy? If beings of such evil can exist in the cosmos, could there possibly be other beings of equal and opposite good? Or is the vast universe filled only with darkness? Some force compels me against reason to maintain hope." My only response to this is that even when Bill Cipher is out of Ford's body, I believe that some of his negative energy is still feeding on him, which explains the last sentence in his paragraph that says, "Some force compels me against reason to maintain hope." Another one to mention is Dipper Pines in the episode Northwest Mansion Nowhere. One major clue that many people pointed out at the end of that episode was his walk when he was away from Fiddleford. Pretty much the same exact body movements as he did when Bill Cipher took over his body. And I believe that even though Bill Cipher indeed leave his body from possession, he still had a little slither inside of him. Maybe that's why Dipper had such a hard time believing in Stanley in the episode Not What He Seems. Alright, now the next one is called the Invisible Wizard page, and I never thought they would actually put a code here, but they did. It begins with an almighty wizard exposed to be actually an extremely ugly and disgusting looking tree. And do you want to know something about the barfing fairies on the right side of the page? Let's just say that they aren't barfing for no reason. They're barfing because of that ugly tree. Okay. Fun fact is, apparently they are one of the very few of creatures who are able to see it. But when it came to Ford, on the other hand, the only way he is able to see it is through an invention that Fiddleford made. Ford titles it the omnispectroscopic glasses. They're most likely the same exact glasses that we've been seeing Fiddleford wear in the episode The Society of the Blind Eye. Now, as for the next page on our list of today's episode is the Bottomless Pit page, which does not have anything at all. So, I guess the only thing left to do is go to the very next page, which is about Bill Cipher's history. I bet that's the page that we've all been wanting to get to anyways. It looks all normal now, but of course, let's turn off the lights and instead you get all of this. Bill taught me that he inspired great minds throughout history. Now I know the truth. He tricked and terrorized great minds, and history is littered with records of his treachery. Since time began, Bill has tried to trick people into building his portal. He exacted his revenge when they failed. And then there's even a list for notable people tricked by Bill Cipher. As for the ancient Egyptians, their primitive portal only worked for 10 minutes. And then it let out a Jekyll-headed man from the nightmare realm. And what do you know? Bill was furious, so he tormented them with nightmares and they built giant stone tributes to Bill, hoping to make him stop. Oh, okay, nice. I see what you guys did there. You're trying to say that's how the Egyptian pyramids were made. Ooh, and then the arms fell off. Well, if the arms fell off, why didn't they put it back on? I know it's a joke, but I'm just thinking logically. And don't worry, I will not be skipping the list on the right side. I will get to that as well. There's a story about George Washington. Don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. You should. Stanley Newbrick. And Modoc the Wise. Alright, this is an interesting story about George Washington. Bill gave him secrets to help defeat the British, but when George's attempt at a steam-powered portal sank into a swamp, Bill gave Washington such bad nightmares that he ground his teeth into dust in his sleep. Oh wow. Okay, and then he had to get wooden ones. Washington put Bill on the $1 bill in order to appease him. Yeah, true story, bro. Alright, so let's go to Stanley Kubrick. I believe that's how you pronounce it, yes. Okay, Bill helped Kubrick fake the US moon landing, hoping that in return, Kubrick would convince NASA to build a functioning portal. However, when NASA rejected the proposal, Bill cursed Kubrick with the bizarre nightmares, which, in an ironic twist, ended up helping him in his film career? What? What the heck? Oh yeah, that explains the moon landing so much better now. And last but certainly not least, Modoc the Wise, a Gravity Falls shaman? Okay, so he's a made-up character. He met a gruesome end when he ran afoul of Bill. He is thought to be the one who inscribed the incantation on the cave that brought Bill into my life. I am the latest in a long line of these foolish men, and it is my burden to avenge them all or lose my life trying. Okay, I'm gonna be pretty straightforward with you guys. I was not expecting all that. That was pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Now, as for the cave that he was referencing to, you probably have already thought about it by now. It's the same exact cave that he had mentioned in the episode Weirdmageddon Part 3, aka the last episode of Gravity Falls. But I totally think that there's gonna be a movie. I still have faith out there, guys. And without further ado, I guess, yeah, this is basically the end of this video. And I bet a bunch of you were probably wondering where the heck was I after all this time. And let me tell you, Star vs. the Forces of Evil had me booked. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of videos. I really wish I had that much time and editing experience with Gravity Falls so that way I can do as many videos about Gravity Falls as I'm doing with Star vs. the Force of Evil. But you know what? It's not even just that. Let me show you some images of different pages that surprisingly don't have any codes whatsoever. There's this page, surprisingly this page, this page, it just goes on. And I'm not saying that this book was disappointing, I'm just not saying it wasn't worth exactly $120, but besides that, it was, wow, I mean, come on, all of those pages? But like I said earlier before, this is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There are more coming in the way, and hopefully I'll do my best to make sure that I published the next one a lot sooner than I did this one. And please do not fret, I have realized that I'm pretty much one of the only people on YouTube doing this right now. And honestly, without a doubt, I'm very happy and proud to say that. Honestly, I don't blame other people. It's pretty difficult to do. And I have also noticed a substantial increase in viewership when it comes to videos like this, so I will continue to do this. It's always good to know what my subscribers like the most. But let me just stop talking because I know I can go on and on in my videos. You all know this. So please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't. We are so close to 100K, guys. I'm gonna keep saying that until we finally make it there. And as always, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!